The fire makes the city look so bright. Close your eyes and just stay tight. We have to go. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me while we leave. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me while we leave. Stay with me. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me while we leave. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me while we leave. Stay with me.
Live from Nerd Bacon HQ in Des Moines, Iowa, I am Jeff, aka Jeff Roth from Bacon.com.
And I'm Dave the Watchman, also with Bacon.com.
And this is the Level Up Lariat podcast right here at twitch.tv/nerdbacon, the only place to get the latest and greatest when it comes to the two things we all love, video games and professional wrestling. Dave, how the hell are you, my friend?
I am within reason. I am recovering from Wrestlemania weekend. How about you?
I'm a little fatigued, and the wrestling continues on tonight with the SmackDown after Mania. So
I hear you party hardied on Saturday.
I did not feel so good on Sunday. Let's put it that way. Our third level up, Justin, is has extra wrestling fatigue, so much so that he's taking the night off, and he worked his ass off this weekend with live simulcasts of both NXT Takeover New Orleans and WrestleMania. So he was, and he said they went very well. The people were watching with him live, and he had some good interactions. So good, he was working his ass off this weekend.
Excellent, good job, Justin. And we hope to see you back next week.
Yeah, can next week we all three be on the same stream? That'd be great.
Well, you took last week off. Justin's taking this week off, so now I'm going to take next week off.
All right, that's fine. Justin and I will cover for you. That'd be fine.
We'll see. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And we're gonna have we'll start with video games because there's a lot less of that to deal with in the wrestling part. But we're gonna be keeping an eye on the .com because it's the SmackDown after Mania, so we'll see some call-ups happening tonight, or some shakeup anyway to the roster. Which Superstar shakeup is next week, and I have some predictions on who's going where.
Oh my goodness, I don't even know where to begin on that, but
yeah.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
We will start in the world of video games, and I don't know if you covered this last week, but the biggest news in the entire world is that we are officially Vegas bound.
Oh yeah, with Evo. Yep, we are definitely going to Evo 2018. So be on the lookout for more coverage of that.
Yeah, the three of us got our official invites to go and interview and shoot some videos and stuff. So we're going back to Vegas, baby. It'll be fun. Looking forward to it.
That is going to be fun.
Let's dive into things that happened as far as announcements. There was the much anticipated and not really a secret. The Spyro collection got some details as far as a release date, as well as what's actually in that collection. What news do you have on that, Mr. Watchman?
For Spyro coming out, in fact, I can't even remember the release date. Was it August or September?
We are so good. Spyro Reignited, and it is a Switch release as well.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is where we.
So anyway, it's coming
out September 21st.
Okay,
looks like
September 21st. That's right, because September is becoming just stacked with releases between that and then the newly announced release date for Spider-Man.
Yes.
Which they just announced last week. So and then Dragon Quest 11.
Yes.
I would presume Smash Brothers is probably going to be somewhere around that September timeframe. But
I put that in November, but we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. I thought Nintendo had said that the online service was going to launch in September, so I would say that Smash and online are going to go hand in hand. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about Spyro. So this is all three of the original PlayStation trilogy now totally remastered, rebuilt from the ground up, looking absolutely positively gorgeous. If you played these games before and you just want to kind of re-experience the magic again, this is for you. Or if you're like me and you've never played a Spyro game, now's a great time to jump in. Again, looks absolutely phenomenal. I'm actually pretty excited about this. And all three games in one package, $40. Spyro, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a big seller for this year.
Yeah, there's a very good side-by-side comparison video out there of what original PS1 stuff was like compared to what they're doing to it. It looks night and day difference. I was somebody in that PS1, PS2 era that skipped a lot of stuff I wish I didn't, like Spyro, like Ratchet and Clank, like Jak and Daxter. I skipped all that 'cause I thought, oh, this is kiddie shit. I need some more hardcore God of War shit, you know. So I was that dumbass.
Oddly enough, I didn't skip Jak and Daxter. I bought that one just because it's like, Naughty Dog, this is going to be cool. I want to support what these developers are doing. Maybe they'll do some cool stuff later on down the road.
But I was way into Crash.
They did.
I was way into Crash because I was like, I like my animal with attitude. Like, I was like, I'll go Sonic. I want these anthropomorphic things with attitude. Yeah, except fuck Bubsy. But yeah, I skipped the Spyro games. I think the first Spyro game I touched was maybe the first Skylanders. But I'm looking forward to going back and playing those because these revamped trilogies of Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter and these Sly Cooper and that sort of stuff. They've done a really good job with all of them, and I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if this is a day one buy for me yet. We'll have to see, again, what else is coming out around that same time.
Right.
But it's definitely on my radar.
Oh, very, very much so.
I wonder how it's going to do compared to Crash. I think Crash is going to end up doing a little bit better, especially now that they've got a Switch port coming out. I think Crash probably has a little bit more nostalgia name recognition than Spyro does.
I would say because Spyro's been around in the Skylander stuff, I think, because Crash has been out of the limelight for, well, I shouldn't say that because those really bad Xbox games. Yeah. But I think there's because of those really bad Xbox games that you go back and say, I wish I could play like the good Crash games, kind of like you treat Sonic, kind of in that realm. So I don't know. I think they'd be on par because they both have some name value because Spyro and PS1 went hand in hand too.
Yep. Those are definitely some PlayStation icons.
Very much so. I mean, and I kind of wish Spyro was in that All-Stars Battle Royale game, but
who knows? Maybe he'll end up in Smash.
Man, that'd be great if they made a PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2.
I've always heard that that's something that's in consideration, but I don't know. I think you'll have a lot more of a chance of a more diverse set of third-party characters making their way over to Smash, and then that becoming kind of the video game all-stars battle.
Oh, sure.
Than PlayStation. But who knows? We'll see.
The other game that got a release date. Oh, man. Oh,
Spider-Man.
Man.
Ugh.
Insomniac's Spider-Man. Finally got a release date. It's going to be, that's right, September 7th.
So much like how Mario went up against Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild last year, Nintendo competed against itself last year for Best Game of the Year. I think Sony's going to compete against itself here for Game of the Year, maybe with God of War.
I did say Insomniacs, right?
Yeah,
okay.
You did say Insomniac.
I forget what I say 5 seconds after. So the trailer came out. It still looks fantastic. They said there's going to be suit crafting in this. And there will be dozens of different suits, and there will not be any microtransactions to get a crafting item or anything like that. Stop it.
This just from a pure gameplay point of view just looks so good. I just cannot wait. I've never been like a huge Spider-Man fan, but this one, there's something about this game that's just it grabs you. Especially with that Insomniac pedigree. I mean, if anybody knows how to put together a good Spider-Man game, it's going to be Insomniac. So
absolutely, and
I'm pumped for this.
So there's the base edition is $60. And of course, I'm saying, but $59.99.
Right.
The digital deluxe version is $79.99, which comes with 3 DLC chapters, new missions, new costumes, and villains. Presumably, those villains are part of the new chapters because it'd be a bit weird if they. Yeah, right. Also, you can spend the $149.99 to get the collector's edition, which has all the content, art book, steel case, and a statue of Spider-Man perched upon what looks to be something.
That's a steal.
Yeah. It's a Spider-Man statue, art book, steel book. I might.
No, you don't need to.
I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
All right, then maybe you should.
I mean, when it gets closer to September, I'll probably say, no, what the hell am I talking about? But right now, in April, I can say I might. This looks phenomenal. I cannot wait for this. It looks spectacular and amazing.
I mean, I'm telling you that September, October, the last half of this year is going to be stacked. It's kind of the opposite of what we had last year, where the first half of the year seemed a little bit more packed with amazing games, and then things kind of cooled off a little bit during the second half. But
right,
man, oh man, this game or this year, oof.
And when we thought, leaving 2017, how great that was as far as gaming went, 2018 is shaping up to be just as good, if not even better.
I think 2018 has been pretty down so far.
So far,
but we'll see what happens after it ramps up.
2017 a little front loaded, a little more front loaded than 2018 is, but we're going to come out on the other side with bangers.
Yep, especially Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption
that's
2.
all we need.
Oh my god. And if Kingdom Hearts 3 sneaks in this year as well?
It's definitely happening this year. There's no way around it.
Speaking of that realm, that area Final Fantasy 15 DLC is coming in, more DLC for FF15, as well as going into 2019. This game is getting supported well beyond what we think would be the ending point of this. They're going all in on FF15. What DLC content is there going to be? Have they said specifically? Have they given us bullet points yet?
So they've got 4 new episodes coming out within throughout 2019. So that'll be 3 years after the game was released.
Wow.
So they've got another episode for Noctis that's coming out. They've got one for Ariana that's coming out, one for Luna Freya, and very intriguing, one for Arden. So, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything since I know you have not finished that game. I would highly recommend you just need to stream like a whole playthrough of that game. Just do it.
Well, I did. I did end up buying it again on the PC, the PC version of it, so I'll have a go at it there. So
it's worth it. It's such a good game, and they've just been improving it throughout its life cycle. So
for sure,
I think the experience that you get is going to be different than the experience that somebody from day one would be getting.
Oh, for sure.
Which is kind of crummy in one way, but kind of cool in the other way that they're still supporting it. I hate the idea that they're releasing a game that obviously wasn't finished, but at the same time, it's cool that you're getting extra
It's hardly
stuff.
The first time that's happened.
I know.
You look at something like Mass Effect 3, where they had to redo the ending, basically.
That's the worst aspect of all this connectivity with consoles. As soon as that happened, as soon as it was widely available for consoles to be able to get online and receive patches, it was like, well, now we don't have to absolutely finish the game.
No.
Ruin things.
Just get it out where we can and we'll fix it later.
Unplug everything.
Yeah. Also, I have spent a good, let's say, 3 or 4 hours in Far Cry 5. I'm really enjoying it. It's a little more. It's more Far Cry. Like if Far Cry 3 and 4 kind of fatigued you in that, this won't help you get unfatigued. Sure. But I didn't play 3 and 4 to exhaustion. I enjoyed them, and I love Blood Dragon for what it's worth. I love the change of scenery going to Hope County, Montana. I think that's great. I think it looks fantastic on PC. My biggest gripe is you really just can't stand still and just take inventory and just not be attacked by cultists and jeeps and vans and bears and birds, and I just want to stand still for 5 seconds and just breathe. And it feels like it just keeps throwing stuff at you over and over, and it's a case where if someone's shooting at you, they rarely miss, so you have to be on your toes at all times, which can get exhausting.
Yeah,
but I am really enjoying it for what it is. It looks fantastic. It runs great on my PC. Great so far. The character is really interesting. The main villain is very interesting. They call it the Father. I love this aesthetic. I really am digging Far Cry 5.
How do you feel? Not to try and get political here, but how do you feel about certain outlets in their reviews for the game decrying the fact that it doesn't go out of its way to bash Trump or anything like that?
If I don't why people are they holding that against it? Do they wish that they would be more anti-Trump? So
basically, the thing is, it's they wanted the game to speak to their political views, and they are knocking the game because the game doesn't really have that much in the way of political views. Instead of being a commentary on the Trump presidency, it more takes its cues from what happened with the Branch Davidians back in the early 90s in Waco, Texas. Apparently, the father is modeled a lot like David Koresh of the Branch Davidians.
I think this is the smart business move to maybe say, hey, let's not alienate a whole portion of our players by pissing them off like this. So let's maybe not piss people off. So let's just sure people can look at it as being you guys are being safe, you guys are being whatever word you want to use against them, or they're a business wanting to put out a game that everyone can play.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily that they're playing safe. What the thing that I had read that I agree with is that, hey, do you understand how video games are made? Do you understand how long it takes for a game to be made? This game was made before Trump became president. It was made it started production probably before he even announced his candidacy for the presidency. So there's really no way, given the cycle of development for a video game, there's really no way that it could actually be a commentary on the presidency, because the story and everything was done prior to the election. So it's kind of unfortunate that people are clamoring so much to have their viewpoint validated that they would hold that against a game and throw logic to the wind in order to bash the game for not being what they wanted it to be. It's basically the same criticism that they threw out to critics of Star Wars Episode 8. Oh, well, you're just upset that Rian Johnson didn't make the movie that you made in your head. Now, I've been outspoken again about how bad Star Wars Episode 8 is, and I'm not going to go into any more of that, but...
We're staying positive here, damn it.
Right, right. I think it's a valid point that there is a difference between the criticisms of Episode 8 and the criticisms for Far Cry 5. I think Far Cry 5, regardless of your political opinion, the fact is that it was just in development before it could form an opinion about current events.
Sure.
It's hard for video games as a medium to really offer that commentary on a current event. It can't really do that. It has to offer historical retrospective.
Unless you're an indie game that can churn out something,
right?
Like, but in a quick turnaround, just spit something out. It's not going to be good, but it can at least be current.
It would be very hard for it to be any sort of sophisticated political commentary.
Right. Or how about we just enjoy video games for what they are?
Yeah, I mean, there's, if you want that political commentary, there's so many different mediums for that.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be in everything. You know what I mean?
We can take a break from that,
right?
With other games, yeah.
Right, exactly. And video games didn't really ever have a conservative bias or anything. So I don't know. I am definitely for that safe space of, hey, I play video games to get away from all this, so I don't need it to invade it. But if somebody is able to make a sophisticated political statement within the context of a video game, then by all means do so. That's the beauty of video games, because video games are a work of art, and I think that is something that can be done. It's just very hard for it to be done. One of my favorite instances of that, I think, would be the original Metal Gear Solid, and how that was kind of a commentary on the proliferation of nuclear weapons in the modern age, and how any rogue state or rogue actor would have the ability in the near future to get a hold of nuclear weapons, and maybe something should be done about that. So I thought that was incredibly sophisticated, and that was out in 1998.
And that game is dumb. Let's be real here. The Metal Gear Solid series is pretty dumb.
Oh, it goes crazy after a while, but first Metal Gear Solid was really sophisticated in that commentary. And actually, what's crazy is if you go back and play Metal Gear Solid 2, the commentary on that with the upcoming information age that nobody understood back in 2001, it's frightening how forward-thinking that was. So it can be done. I think it has to be done in more of a subtle manner. Maybe that's not the word that I'm looking for. It has to be done in more of a high level. It has to take more of a high level approach than being something specific to a current event, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm just
because then you kind of drifted to like the Postal series, which leans way too hard on that stuff, and are just bad games, but they lean way too heavily on that sort of stuff. It turns out just being dumb and cheesy for the sake of it, so you just kind of laugh that off. But
right,
it's a very fine line when it comes to books, movies, video games. It's a very fine line between you don't want to push too much, but you don't want to not get there. It's a fine line.
Anyway,
Far Cry 5, taken as a game
cool.
or an entity, is a cool game. So
all right.
I recommend it.
Well, I really went off the reservation. I'm apologizing.
No, that is totally fine. Also, once this podcast is over on the Jeff Roth stream, I'll be trying to play the new Battle Royale game from Cliff Bleszinski's studios, Boss Key.
Hey.
Because Radical Heights came out on Steam Early Access today.
Hey.
And I'll be trying. It's basically a Battle Royale with a 1980s aesthetic to it. I'm looking forward to it.
Ooh,
and
I might check that out. I might check that out.
So are many people. So right as I checked Twitch today, and Radical Heights was the second most streamed game when I checked in, right behind Fortnite, which makes me think something. This is where I'm going to get a little philosophical here. The Battle Royale community, let's call them, is hungry for maybe not a replacement, but an alternative to a Fortnite or a PUBG. So I think the market is still hungry for the Battle Royale style game. And as you said earlier, every game's going to have one of these things.
Yeah.
Because the market is there for it. Because as soon as it came out like at noon today, our time, and people were eating it up. Like I said, the second most streamed game on Twitch, which, I mean, it makes me think that this genre has some legs. The second you put something out, people just go on it. Also, it makes me feel bad to be a gamer because this is day one early access. It said right there, we are making this game. It's not complete. And people don't get that concept. The second you say, hey, we can't do this yet. Oh, what the fuck? I can't do this right now. This is bullshit. This is the worst thing ever. They're making this game. It is in the process of being. It is not 1.0. So just shut the up. Let them make this game.
That's such an odd concept to me, and I think that kind of shows my age and how I'm kind of an old school gamer. The whole concept of, we're releasing this early access game for something that's still a work in progress is so foreign to me.
I think it's great. The players are helping the developers make this game and tailoring the game to what players want, as opposed to here's what we think you want. No, you tell us what you want because you guys play the game. Let us know what you think, and then we will build around you guys. We can build the community this way.
So here's my question: once it's finally done with development and the free to play status, and it's actually officially released, after 2 years. By that time, isn't it considered kind of old hat?
It's like this game or the early access?
Well, just any game that's in early access, isn't it considered? Doesn't it run the danger of being kind of considered old hat, and then people have already jumped on to the next thing?
Well, I mean, we'll see because PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was in early access for I want to say like 8 or 9 months before it finally hit 1.0, mainly because Fortnite made it go out there. Uh-huh. And so now that player base got split. So we'll see now with those two juggernauts kind of still in their prime, what a game like Radical Heights or this Paladins Battle Royale thing can do as well. So I think this genre is still fairly new as far as being the main thing. It only really kind of took into effect, in 2017, 2016, maybe the end 2016, when this genre sort of started gaining some traction. So it's still fairly new in the grand scheme of things.
Well, let's definitely keep an eye on it and see how it is as far as its ranking in the streaming community. We'll see how it is a week from now, because obviously right now, just released at high noon, everybody's jumping in to check this thing out. I think we'll have a good indication in a week or two as far as where this is going to end up. It's
just kind of cool to see how hungry players are for a new one of those. Everyone says, this is like Fortnite. It's not. I mean, it's the same idea, but it's different ideas of the same. We'll see what happens. But I'm afraid this is getting what I call the Dreamcast effect, because with how poorly Lawbreakers was received, how poorly Lawbreakers did, which is what the last Boss Key game was Lawbreakers. Mm-hmm. If you've never heard of it, don't worry. Many other people didn't hear of it. It was a failure, and I think people are. And people are going to look at that and hold that success to radical heights, which is what happened to Sega with the Saturn and how financially how poorly that did in commercially, and then holding that and not trusting Sega going forward with the Dreamcast, which is my favorite personal console of all time. So you look at at how hard Lawbreakers flopped, and people will look at that and go, well, this is Cliff Bleszinski, this is Bosky, this is Lawbreakers. People were screwed. They make bad games. So they're going to shit on it already. So it's a battle royale game. It's not Fortnite. It's Cliff Bleszinski's studio that made Lawbreakers. Going to shit on it immediately. Which people just need to let this game develop. I think being free to play is a big step. I think being early access is a big step because they can say, hey, this is not the finished product. You let us know what you want, and we'll help make the game that you want. I think these are great steps, but we'll see months down the road how this will compare to PUBG and Fortnite.
Be kind of great if they had done early access with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Bazinga.
Yeah. Did you hear Maximilian, dude? He had made a video talking about what went wrong with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Did you hear he got like death threats from a dude over this?
Really?
Yeah. Just kind of ridiculous. I watched that video actually this morning while I was getting ready for work. The thing that really stood out, he basically just kind of goes over the mistakes that Capcom made with Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and how it's still a really fun game to play, but it's just, it just did so much wrong, especially from a presentation standpoint before the game came out, and from a visual standpoint and everything. But the thing he kept hitting at was that he thinks that Capcom is done supporting the game. And the way that he was hitting at it, it kind of made me feel, and maybe this is just conspiracy Dave talking, but it kind of made me feel that he was gently letting us know that he's been told it's done, which would confirm the report that Nerd Bacon had put out a couple of months ago.
From the site that we write for?
Yeah, from a site.
Oh my God!
From a source basically saying that Capcom was done supporting it, and that it was going to get delisted in October of this year. So
right,
I don't know. Just the way he was saying it just kind of makes me feel like maybe this is actually the case. Maybe it's confirmed.
Would make sense with how nobody's playing that game right now, which is sad for me as who's a Capcom fan and an MVC fan. This hurts, but at the same time, you got to cut your losses.
That's too bad. I think if it had some X-Men characters in there, but like that report that we had put out said, it wasn't necessarily Capcom's fault. It was more Marvel and their restrictions on what could or could not be in the game and how things were to be presented. And then it was actually Marvel that said, no, you're not going to be at EVO, which killed the game dead.
Yeah. So they got to be working on something else. There's got to be a new Marvel game. There's a reason why it's not going to be at EVO.
I don't think that there's going to be another Marvel game. I don't think for at least a decade. I think it's done.
I'm not saying like a Marvel vs. Capcom game. I'm saying like maybe they're working, hey, we want this stuff for like X-Men Legends, or we want this for a new Marvel Ultimate Alliance kind of deal. Instead of, we don't want to make fighting games right now. Let's make a different game with Marvel characters in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Marvel really has an understanding of the video game market and how to be successful in the video game market.
Well, DC doesn't know how to do movies right anymore, so we're even now.
There you go.
Yeah, we're even. Any stuff you want to get to video game wise before we dive into all of the wrestling?
No, let's go ahead and dive right in here. It was kind of light on video game news, so time for wrestling, and with that.
Oh, and real quickly, next week at this time next week, Yakuza 6 comes out.
Oh my God!
And
10 days until God of War.
10 days until God of War,
wait.
Man. Oh my God.
Oh, one thing I'll say, we are less than 2 months now from E3 2018. EA announced that they are going to stream their press conference, and that's going to be Saturday, June 9th. So that's a repeat, basically, of what they did last year. So starting on Saturday with EA, and then Sunday we'll have Bethesda, we'll have Microsoft, and then Monday we'll have Ubisoft and Sony, and Tuesday will be Nintendo. Presumably, not all of these are locked in, but it's shaping up to be how it was last year. So
and of course you can watch along with us because we'll be on the Nerd Bacon Twitch site right here with us doing commentary over live conferences.
Trust me, you're not gonna want to miss it.
Right. And it kicks off June 9th. Sorry, June 9th.
But our coverage will kick off much sooner, and there's something special that's being planned. I can't really talk about it too much, but there's something that we're hoping to get out on June 1st leading up to E3. And let me tell you something, it will be huge if we pull this off. It's just fingers crossed. We'll see what happens.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
I know. It's been super tight-lipped.
Because when Dave gets info, he holds it from all of us.
I have to. Maybe I'll let you in on this a little bit afterwards. Anyway, we have some breaking wrestling news.
Oh, do we? Okay.
We do.
Before I get... Okay, Sam Fisher in Ghost Recon.
Oh my God.
Wildlands basically confirms a new Splinter Cell game. Go, Dave, go.
Pretty much. I mean, that's the biggest hint that you could have, that there is probably a new Splinter Cell coming.
Sam Fisher's going to be in Ghost Recon Wildlands, basically confirming that we're going to have a new Splinter Cell game this year at E3 announced by Ubisoft. Okay, Dave, go.
All right, we have a new SmackDown general manager.
Oh.
Daniel Bryan, now that he is back in the ring, he has stepped down. He has resigned as general manager. So the new general manager of SmackDown is Paige. I love that. I love your face.
That's too bad.
The new GM is Paige.
That's really too bad. I was hoping for somebody I gave a crap about.
She said she gave a retirement speech on Raw last night. The first person waiting for her in the back was Shane O'Mac.
So she's going to be talking more? Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's really too bad.
They tried this. Remember when they tried this with AJ Lee?
Yes, I do.
That didn't turn out as well as I had hoped. There was so much potential because AJ Lee was doing like this, she was crazy.
Yeah.
That whole crazy angle. And then, remember she was with CM Punk, she was with Daniel Bryan, but then she kind of had that thing for CM Punk. And then she played those two off against each other. And it led to a really good match between the two of them.
And she's with Dolph at some point too.
With her as a special guest referee. Yeah. That was actually a really fun time in wrestling.
I think I was kind of getting back into it because I know why. So I'd taken a break from wrestling for a while, and then CM Punk and The Shield got me back into wrestling.
Oh,
to where I am now. So
okay, I got in a little bit before that. It was the CM Punk pipe bomb that just drew me back in.
Yeah, I think I completely fell off after the ECW pay-per-view that December to Dismember. I was like, okay, I think I'm done with wrestling for a while because that was so bad. Anyway,
man.
Dave, on that sour note. Speaking of sour, I have a Sour Patch Kids I'm eating. The biggest professional wrestling event of the year took place over the weekend. WrestleMania weekend happened, and full of everything. So we had TakeOver, we had WrestleMania, we had the Raw after Mania, and we're currently at SmackDown after Mania.
Yep. The Usos have beaten the New Day to become #1 contenders for the tag titles.
Okay, this makes me... I'll get to that in a second, because next week is Superstar Shakeup. So... let's start with the first thing that happened in the WWE-verse. NXT TakeOver New Orleans.
This is going to be all you because I have not watched it yet.
Okay, so I recently watched this. I watched TakeOver after WrestleMania because I wanted to go into Mania fresh. I didn't want to have... I knew TakeOver would be a hell of a show, so I wanted to go into Mania fresh and not have that linger in my head. This TakeOver might be the best one they've ever put on. It from top to bottom, it was... 5 stars.
Wow. I had that first match on Sunday before WrestleMania, the North American title ladder match.
Dude,
but I didn't watch a whole lot of it because I was making tacos hoping you'd come over.
Okay, sorry. Well, I was sick. All right. So, yeah, very first match of the card, the North American... Okay, so the show started with a really bad band. Just doing a lot of...
Oh, God, yeah.
Why? Okay, the newly made North American Championship, because they have so much talent in NXT right now. It's 6 people as Velveteen Dream, EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, and Adam Cole Bebe in a ladder match. This was oh my god, dude. So this was the televised debut for Ricochet and EC3. They've been kind of doing the house show runs, but this is the first time they've actually been on a televised event. All 6 of these guys got their shit in. They all looked fantastic. They all came out looking infinitely better than going in. God, where do I even begin with this? Ricochet is the man. If you don't know, if you've never watched a Ricochet match, watch him now. He was just pulling off shooting star presses every chance he got. He was just flying around the ring. He's a bump machine. So he was on the ladder one time. Lars Sullivan's pushing him over. He just looks behind him. Shooting star press. Done. Or did a moonsault. It was sick. Velveteen Dream. He had Ricochet up on his fire miscarry. Did a rolling Death Valley driver onto a ladder. It was sick. Killian Dane throwing people through ladders. Lars Sullivan threw people ladders. This match was insane. And the winner and current and inaugural North American champion Adam Cole, Bay. They're putting a lot of stock behind Adam Cole in this.
That's good. I was kind of against them adding yet another title to the WWE family, but the more that I thought about it, it is right for them to add kind of a subtitle for NXT, just because you do your time as NXT champion, you drop the title, and then suddenly you're on the main roster.
Yep.
This gives you a little bit more time to kind of showcase talent, get them ready to hold the main NXT title before they go on. So I get it now. I'm on board, and I can't think of a better person to be the first North American champion than Adam Cole, baby.
And the crowd just yells that as loud as possible every time.
Yeah, he is the second coming of Shawn Michaels, maybe the third. I don't know.
Pretty much, and he was just throwing super kicks left and right. I think he hit Ricochet out when he came to the top rope, and then he did the thing, and the crowd just screamed Adam Cole, baby. It was nuts. But that was a 5-star, 6-star match. It was amazing. Go watch that one. When you hang up on me, go watch that match. Followed by the NXT Women's Championship, as Shayna Baszler, I can never say her name right, Shayna Baszler defeated the current call-up to Raw, Ember Moon, via submission. It was a good match. There's a nice spot where Shayna, God bless it, her name is Shayna. She had her shoulder getting worked on by Ember.
It's Shay baby.
Shay baby. She tried to pop it back into socket by slamming it against the ring post. It was kind of a cool, innovative way of doing it. She got the submission because Ember Moon passed out.
Oh. Okay.
The thing that now, I was fine until the very end, because as Shayna's walking up the ramp, she wears a mouthpiece. So people who have had braces understand what that you sound like when you talk.
Sure.
With a mouth guard. And she says, quote, it's like, I remember this vividly. I didn't stop laughing. I'm the best wrestler you've seen in forever. Like, what did she just say? Because she's friends with, Ronda Rousey. Like, she's like part of like the whole UFC, family. She's supposed to be this little badass. And she walks up with her mouth guard saying, I'm the best wrestler you've seen in forever. I'm like, damn it. Lost it. I checked out. I thought that's just a dumb thing to say. It was hilarious, though. Then the NXT Tag Team Championship, the Triple Threat. Also, we decided the winner of the Dusty Rhodes Classic. The winners were the Undisputed Era, as they defeated the Authors of Pain, who got called up last night.
Yeah. And
Roderick Strong and the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. So, Undisputed Era was represented by Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, Bay, who was doing double duty because Bobby Fish is injured.
Oh.
Adam Cole was taken out pretty early. He got put through a table by one of the Authors of Pain, I believe. So he's out of the match. Finish comes when Roderick Strong betrays Pete Dunne. So Roderick Strong is now part of Undisputed Era.
Oh.
Which makes me very happy as a Roderick Strong fan. Hopefully this will give him some character.
Uh-huh.
And this makes me also think that the injury to Bobby Fish might be larger than we anticipated. Ooh. Because this may give him give them the third person for Undisputed Era. So the Era 1, Roderick Strong celebrating with them, so they keep the tag team titles and win the Dusty Rhodes Memorial Classic. But some good story to build off here. Roderick Strong turning heel, joining the era. The crowd went nuts, by the way, for this. So hopefully this will boost him up a little bit because he could sure use it. His babyface promos were lacking, so hopefully his heel promos are better. Then we get to the NXT Championship as Andrade Cien Almas drops the belt to Aleister Black. Aleister Black is your new NXT champion with a real wicked black mass.
Only a matter of time.
Yeah, dude, I love Aleister Black. Selena Vega gets involved about 3 or 4 times, ends up costing Andrade the match. I wouldn't be surprised to see Andrade get called up tonight to SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm monitoring. I haven't seen anything yet. Naomi is taking on Natalya right now, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. That guy is a huge talent.
No.
I hope that the WWE continues on with Aleister Black and just books him well. Bray Wyatt kind of failed as being the new Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not his fault. I think a lot of that is just bad creative. And I can't really pinpoint exactly where it went wrong for Bray. I think maybe it's just Bray never won.
That could be. Like who's scared somebody they can beat?
Exactly. So. He never did anything really tremendously shocking. They tried to put Daniel Bryan with the Wyatt family, which could have worked, except the timing was off because everybody wanted Daniel Bryan in the main event of WrestleMania, and they did that to try and cool him off, but nope, didn't work. Had they done that in the summer, that would have been a hot angle. After SummerSlam, that would have been a great angle, but not right now.
I kept watching this show thinking, who would get called up? Who do I not want to see get called up? And I was watching that ladder match, and the more I watched Ricochet, I'm going, man, it's going to suck when they put him on 205 Live.
Yeah, I know.
Because he's made for the cruiserweight division, but they're going to waste him because that dude is insanely talented, and he's go watch this match. I swear to God,
I will
watch this match and watch Ricochet. There's main event.
You kind of hate to see people get called up from NXT because you're worried. Oh God, are they going to end up like Tyler Breeze or Ty Dillinger?
Just God, you had to say it, didn't you? Just break my heart.
Well, did you like during the?
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. We're gonna get there. And yes, I did. Main event of Takeovers was talking about a 5-star match: Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa in the unsanctioned match. If Johnny wins, he gets back to NXT, which he did, by the way. Ciampa comes out to no music. He has a screen and the colors, but no music. I loved it, and the crowd was just hating on him, just saying "Fuck you, Ciampa." They were getting into hating him. Everything he did, the crowd hated. I loved it. Gargano comes out, heroes welcome. The place blows up. People love Johnny Wrestling. People love Johnny Wrestling.
Does he get called up?
Not yet. I think he just won back his NXT eligibility. He won back his NXT job, so I don't think he gets called up. I think if he would have lost, he would get called up. But I mean, everything was being used: the crutches, the knee braces, everything. The ending saw Gargano use Tommaso's knee brace against him into the Gargano escape. Took the knee brace, STF. He did the knee brace around Ciampa's neck and just cinched up, and it was sick looking. And Ciampa tapped out. So yeah, this was top to bottom. Takeover was amazing. One of their best shows of all time.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that because I've kind of fallen off the NXT wagon for a while now. Just after all that talent like Finn Balor and everybody else got called up. It kind of lost some of that excitement. So it's really cool to see that they still know how to keep that excitement going.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane, and people need to drop what they're doing and watch TakeOver New Orleans because it was freaking nuts. Okay, shall we get to WrestleMania? And I've actually watched WrestleMania.
Yes, since I watched WrestleMania. I will also say this. I'm showing a report that Target on their website has a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3 listed as November 1st. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but could give us an indication that we are getting close to an announcement.
We'll probably see a holiday release for that, because heck, at GameStop they would put the first of month as a placeholder, so that means nothing. It'll be a holiday release if that's the case.
Yeah, I would say late October through I would say before Thanksgiving for that game, but it's a good indication we're getting close.
Good.
Anyway,
so that will get fans very excited. All right, Wrestlemania. First, I'll say overall, it was a good show.
It was a good show. I was a little worried for a while, but
yeah, I think last year might have been better overall, but I still think it was a good show.
I would agree with that.
The kickoff show, we started with the Andre the Giant, because nobody gives a shit about that. I think in meetings always go, hey, what's on kickoff, Andre?
Yeah, which is fine. That is exactly where it needs to be. I will say this. Having woken Matt Hardy in that Battle Royal and having that storyline going made me actually care about the Battle Royal.
Right. There were some actual good stories being told there. You saw Mojo knock Zack Ryder out, former partners. Yeah, that's a pretty legit tackle. It looked a little rough. Goldust and R-Truth having a moment. That was seeing Goldust dab made my heart cry, but I love Goldust. That's always good. The moment between Ty Dillinger and Matt Hardy was great. Who are you? Delete 10. Delete 10. It was great.
That was so great. Maybe he should feud with Ty Dillinger, and then Ty Dillinger gets thrown into the lake of resurrection and comes back as part of Matt Hardy's crew.
He comes back as Stan, who's Shawn Michaels super kicked in the face. Did you ever watch that? So yeah, I think I told you about there's that backstage promo that the reformed DX did back in 2005, and Shawn Michaels turns to this backstage guy and says, "Who are you?" And Ty Dillinger's there and says, "Stan." "Oh, Stan." And then he super kicks him and says, You made me just kick Stan. It was if you rewatch that promo, you go, "Oh shit, that's Ty Dillinger."
Huh.
So Ty's been there for quite some time.
Poor Ty.
He was in the ECW when they brought that back.
What? That was 50 years ago.
Yeah, Ty Dillinger wrestled in that ECW.
Oh my goodness. Ty, why can't they get him over? What is the deal?
He was over in NXT. Leave him in NXT.
What does Vince not see in Ty Dillinger?
I don't know.
He doesn't grab the brass ring that I don't give to him.
Right.
Anyway.
First person now, Aiden English. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Talk about wasted talent. Aiden English can go, but let's just not deal with that. And God, every tag team under the sun is just getting jobbed out, because the clubs that are getting jobbed out, revivals are getting jobbed out.
Oh, that's sickening. It's sickening when the revival is getting jobbed out.
I think they get sent to SmackDown, honestly.
Something needs to happen, because there's no reason that these guys should be doing the job. Yeah. These guys, the club and the revival, should be the two biggest tag teams in wrestling.
They should. But yeah, the finish saw, I think, it was Woken Matt Hardy versus Mojo Rawley and Baron Corbin, the last two winners. And then Bray Wyatt's info hits, his little montage hits. Crowd goes apeshit. That was a huge pop for Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And he comes in looking the same. I thought they're going to repackage him because the waters of whatever that's called, reincarnation. Turns out he was reincarnated being Matt's friend. So he helped out Matt Hardy, and now they're kind of he said the yin yang of WWE. So I think they're now a pair. They're now a tag team, or they're at least friends.
I'm good with that. I like the pairing. I like Bray desperately needed something to stay relevant.
Yes.
This is it. Let's go. Since we're obviously not going to get Jeff Hardy paired back with Matt, I think they want him to have a singles run. Okay, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Yep, Jeff Hardy came back last night to Raw and was a lot in the ring with Finn and Miz and all them. So I think Jeff Hardy's singles run begins now.
Yeah.
Even though he's on Twitter as Brother Nero, I thought, he's on Twitter as Broken Nero, as Woken Nero. So we're gonna bring him back as nope, guess not.
It may come eventually.
Sure. Yeah, it may come during another deletion where Matt faces Jeff. Where are you going? And,
I'd be fine with Matt Hardy facing off with Ty Dillinger. I think that would be a good feud. Or Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd rather have it that when Matt Hardy deletes you, you join Matt Hardy's crew, and then Matt Hardy just amasses this stable. The Woken Warriors.
The new NWO, the MWO,
Yeah. I'd be down
Matt's
with
Woken
that.
Order, yeah. Then we got the cruiserweight title match. This match was awesome. You see like all these Spanish flies being thrown by Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander, like they were allowed to actually be cruiserweights. Also, I love Mustafa's entrance with like the Sub-Zero light up Daft Punk mask and the light Iron Man thing. I love that. Cedric gets the win with a wicked lumbar check. Holy crap. And Cedric Alexander is your new cruiserweight champion.
Well, I think I might have been eating tacos at that point. I don't remember much of that match.
It was a really good match. There was the thing that Charlotte did to Asuka off the top rope. That happened in the cruiserweight match.
Oh, nice.
Like all the flipping stuff happened. It was actually really cool. Also, Eli Drake, that's his other name. Drake Maverick is a very tiny person.
He's like, I'm a tiny dude, but that dude's smaller than me.
But he seems very genuine and happy to be there. So I'm now at least interested in watching 205 Live.
When you're coming from the sinking ship, the never-ending sinking ship that is TNA over to WWE, you're happy.
Then we got the women's battle royal, which this whole thing felt weird because they brought in Becky Lynch first of all. She got her entrance music and her down the ramp, and they cut to commercial. I assume we're on the network, so we didn't get commercials. And then here's everybody else.
And then here's an entrance for Sasha and Bayley.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I wonder where they're going with this. And of course,
go on.
This was weird. This was totally weird. I like what they did with Sasha. The whole thing was a means to get Sasha and Bayley in the same ring, which they should have just done a match. But hey.
Thank you. That's what I talked about with Justin last week. Was that you would have furthered the cause of women's wrestling a whole hell of a lot more. It's not about having a gimmick match like, oh, we're having the first women's battle royal. Look how progressive we are, pushing the cause for women. That's not how you do it. You do it by having, by telling a story, and you have a good matchup between two people who are great workers, and that's what Sasha and Bayley are. Yes. Their in-ring talent speaks for itself, and it tells just the classic story of a friendship gone awry, and then you have two people who just want to get at each other. No titles need to be on the line, no gimmicks, just two insanely talented women who just want to fight each other.
Right.
And you let them do that in the ring. That would have pushed the cause of women's wrestling a whole lot more than this stupid battle royal where you're just having that in order to get to the conclusion of Bayley screwing over Sasha and then not even winning herself. So you could have done that in the fall to lead up to a match at WrestleMania, which would have been like freaking Macho Man versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat level quality.
Yeah, you know it's a good match when the announcers don't know who people are. There were plenty of times where like, who the hell is this person? They're gone. Like,
who was called?
Why should I care?
Was that Michael Cole and Coach?
Doesn't surprise. Was it? I know Corey was there at some point too.
Corey's on both shows because he's the only competent one.
Yeah, that dude is the most hardworking person in professional wrestling, I tell you.
I will go on another tangent. Corey Graves is amazing.
Yes.
It is so ridiculously hard. I thought it was hard to listen to JBL when he was commentating. It is infinitely harder to listen to Michael Cole and freaking John Coachman blabber on about just inane bullshit over a match time and time again. I cannot stand those two. Those two are the absolute worst They're the worst commentators in the history of professional wrestling.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Don West is pretty bad.
Who?
I think Don West was pretty bad in TNA for a while there.
I'm not familiar.
I'm sure there were some WCW guys that came in for like one-offs. I'm like, you probably shouldn't be here ever again.
Couldn't you imagine if Tony Schiavone came back?
Shivani. Let's be real, Shivani.
Sorry. If Tony Schiavone came back and was the commentator for Raw, can you imagine how great that would be?
Tony Schiavone, I listen to his podcast every week. He is doing Major League Wrestling, MLW. They're going to start their weekly show, MLW Fusion, on the beIN Sports Network. So he is back in wrestling fully.
That's
also
awesome.
A great podcast.
It just, sometimes it sickens me how the WWE is still, they'll do anything for what they consider mainstream relevancy. Oh, look at us. We've got this guy. He was on ESPN for a while. He's our commentator now. Like, this is
he was WWE first. Like, he was in WWE first, and then he's coming back home.
I get that. But it smacks of desperation sometimes. Just put out a good product. That's all you got to do. You'll draw people in if you put out a good product. Anyway, I digress.
On the flip side, Mauro Ranallo is great. Some of his references are kind of forced, feels like, but I love Mauro Ranallo.
That's all right. That's endearing to me.
Yeah, Mauro Ranallo is great. Percy Watson's great, and Nigel McGuinness. The NXT crew is great.
The NXT crew is fantastic. Mauro Ranallo is a supreme upper echelon talent. He's
got the right voice for it. He's so good at what he does. And
love him.
I think somebody went into, I think it was the NXT title match when maybe Aleister Black got thrown into the announce table and knocking Mauro Ranallo's like headset off, and like you couldn't hear him for a while. The crowd chanted "Mamma Mia!" It was great. I loved it.
I've just got the utmost respect. I like Tom Phillips from SmackDown as well. Yeah. He's got a great voice. He's not annoying.
Yep.
Love the dude.
When Tom and Corey were in NXT, that was great.
Cole and Coach, I just wish that they would retire happily. Yeah. I don't wish anything.
I don't mind Coach as much as I'm bugged by Cole sometimes, but when
it's the two of them together, it's very, very vexing. Yep. I don't wish anything bad on them. I just wish that they would go away and be happy somewhere together.
Sure. Finish of the Women's Battle Royal. We saw Bayley not necessarily turn on Sasha, but kind of started to get fed up with Sasha. Threw her out of the ring. Thought she had won when Naomi sneaks back in and wins the match.
Stupid.
So there's some story there going forward where Sasha now knows that you can't trust Bayley, and Bayley knows you can't trust Sasha. There's some story being told there to set up a future feud. So at least there's that.
Should have been a WrestleMania match between those two.
Should have been a match.
Anywho, all right.
Then we get to the main show with America the Beautiful. So it was funny. They announced the two girls who sang America the Beautiful, and the whole crowd went, who? Because
they're the future of music. Who,
yeah, I was like, what? Who are them? I mean, they did a hell of a job. It's funny because I was like, I don't know who they are. Should I know who they are?
They did do a very nice job.
It's very, very, very nice. Yeah. Kick things off with a bang. You talk about setting the tone early. The Triple Threat IC Championship with Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and The Miz. This match was awesome, literally. So, what I don't like is this whole 3D, CGI word prints they're putting now out there. Because the Miz had that, the Miz popped out on screen. It had one thing said hot wife. It was funny, but it was kind of tacky.
So is that something they can see in the arena, or is that just for TV?
I'm gonna go with no.
Okay. I don't know how technology works.
That's the sort of augmented reality shit that I think only we can see on TV. Because Asuka had that, and New Day had that with the pancakes, which we'll get to that. Yes. That was freaking hilarious. God. The Triple Threat match. Balor comes out with the LGBT local group in New Orleans, which I thought was awesome. They've got that Balor Club shirt with the rainbow stuff on it. I know it's for everybody. I thought that was really cool. Nice touch. But there's always that one fan in that group that just was starting to overreact. She's jumping up and down.
Yes.
I was like, oh, she's trying really hard.
And that ruined it for everybody. I don't know. Again, that just smacks of the WWE trying to feel socially relevant and just trying to do it way too hard.
I thought going that route, that I didn't find that egregious because they didn't harp on it over and over again like they do with Trailblazers and women and just beat me over the head with it. I wasn't beat over the head with this. So
I was waiting for Coach to keep pointing out his socks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, look at how historic his socks are.
Seth comes out in a Game of Thrones style. He got the blue contacts on. He's got the gray pants on. Everything. That's badass. Miz came out in some steampunk stuff. Sent Axel and Dallas to the back. Miz Taraj is gone. Hell of a match. God, Miz puts on the figure 4 and Seth Rollins the biggest frog splash ever. Finn hits the coup de grace, and as he gets up, gets a curb stomp.
Yep.
I thought this was great, and Seth Rollins wins the IC belt. So I think this is he's now a Grand Slam champion.
Yep, deservedly so. It was the exact correct match that needed to happen to open the show up. Nice hot open.
Yeah, it was fast paced. All three guys are the best workers in the business, pretty much. I mean, at least in WWE. People still love Finn. People still love Seth. People still love The Miz for what he can do. I think Miz will take some time off now and go be a dad, and rightfully and deservedly so.
I'm ready to see. Yeah. Are they done with Demon Balor?
I don't know. I would think so at this point, unless he comes for SummerSlam.
I don't know. I miss Demon Balor.
I kind of do too.
Maybe they just had him out a little too much, and it was like,
absolutely, the heart grow fonder. So maybe at SummerSlam we see it's been a while.
You know who was doing all of his cool back makeup? Enzo.
Really?
Yeah.
Which I read on Twitter. That case is still open.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's a hard way to close.
Second match of the evening may have stolen the entire show because it was Asuka and Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Oh my God.
Brother, this is my pick for match of the night.
This was so damn good. And my question was, when Charlotte made her entrance, there's those 3 gladiators there. Who are they? Because they had that big deal about when they came out for Triple H's entrance in California. That was Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch and Charlotte. So I wonder what NXT people were those gladiators.
They said on one of the websites. I don't remember who they were. But yeah, a nice callback to that Triple H entrance. That Charlotte was a part of from WrestleMania. I think that was WrestleMania 30, I want to say.
Was it 30 or 31?
No, I think it was 30. I think that was the Daniel Bryan one.
Yeah, 31 was like the Cyborg Terminator bullshit. Oh,
that's the worst one.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It was so bad.
But, oh, my God. These... so again, bad. Charlotte... Yeah, it was so bad. Charlotte with the Spanish Fly off the top rope. If you don't know what that is, so Charlotte and Asuka are on the top rope, and Charlotte does a freaking backflip and slams Asuka on her back. It's wicked. It's a good gift.
Oh yeah.
Out there, happened twice in the cruiserweight match, like 3 times in the cruiserweight match. It was nuts. This match was off the charts.
Yep, this was a great example of the titles on the line, so that helps, but you've got 2 performers that are at the top of their game. Everybody knows they can go, and the stakes are high with the streak versus the championship, and the crowd was just into it from the get-go. Personally, I think it's ridiculous that Asuka lost. I don't think there's any reason for them to break that streak right now. I think they were just doing it to say, oh, it's a callback to what happened in New Orleans with Brock Lesnar breaking the streak of The Undertaker. I just hate them breaking a streak for no reason.
Right. Yeah, I don't agree with dropping the streak here, but I can't deny how good this match was. And storytelling, though, the Charlotte had her arm worked on the entire match.
Yep.
She's doing the figure 8 with one arm. And you can see her just on one arm doing a figure 8, and it was amazing storytelling. And yeah, I may not agree with them because you're at the top. You're at the biggest show with the biggest stars. You've pushed this hard for this long, and she loses.
I think the thinking is that they're going to have Charlotte face off with Rousey at next year's WrestleMania. I would have said keep Asuka undefeated, have her win the title, and run roughshod over everybody. And then next year you can have the baddest woman on the planet going up against the undefeated for 2 or 3 years, Asuka, have that matchup. That's great. That would be a fantastic matchup.
How great would it have been if Asuka won the SmackDown Championship and then at next week's Superstar Shakeup, she goes to Raw, takes the belt with her, wins the Raw belt, and then she has both brands' belts.
I would have been fine with that. What I was expecting to happen was both women are beat up, both women are down, and then all of a sudden Carmella comes out and pulls a Seth Rollins a la WrestleMania 31, pins Charlotte, wins the title, and then you have that chase. Asuka can come back to Raw and then win the title over on Raw, and she's also still undefeated. So I was really surprised they didn't go that route, and they didn't really have... When are they going to have Carmella cash in the damn Money in the Bank thing?
I think she's almost cashed in on SmackDown, like the go home SmackDown. She had her cash in thwarted, like it was going to happen, then it didn't. She came out during the kickoff show and had a really bad time because I don't know why she was there. Yeah. She said, like, "I'm the best and I'm bored. Bye." I'm like, why are you even here?
Yeah, and then they had her in the women's battle royal. She was one of the first
she was the first one that got eliminated. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, that's reverse psychology. So she's obviously walking out with the belt.
Nope.
I don't get it sometimes.
They don't know what to do with the briefcases.
Speaking of women, I do have an update. We've got Peyton Royce and Billie Kay have appeared on
the iconic duo. That's a great place for them. I love those girls.
That's right. They have beaten up on Charlotte.
I love those girls. The problem is they just called up 3 other girls from NXT, and they're getting wasted, so...
Which 3?
The Riot Squad, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. They got called up when they got called up when Absolution got called up and got wasted. So they're all just screwed. Anyway, but hey, the SmackDown women's roster gets deeper, which means I think more of them will go to Raw. At the end of the Charlotte Asuka match, of course, we had to get John Cena side. So Cena was in the audience most of the. Cena was in the audience for most of that. Up until that was in the audience. It was fun to kind of pan to him and see him go nuts and be in the crowd drinking beers. That's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was so funny watching his fall reactions. Like, oh, I'm really interested in this.
He's good at what he does. He's a very good entertainer.
Love him.
So Charlotte's walking up the ramp after just beating Asuka. Ref comes running down. The camera's all freaky because Kevin Dunn. And then the ref tells Cena, hey, he's here. So Cena took off up the ramp. As Charlotte's having her moment, I'm like, this could have been done a little bit differently, but okay. I don't think this is not Cena being arrogant. I think this is somebody saying, let's do it. This is Vince saying, let's do it here.
Yeah.
Charlotte should have had her moment.
Poor place to put it. I don't understand. Yep. Again, I don't understand what they're thinking a lot of times. They could have waited till Charlotte was up the ramp and then cut over to John Cena's reaction. Have an interview piece, like real quick, 5 seconds. Like,
right,
John, you just saw this incredible match. What are your reactions? Well, let me tell you, this just really is so great for women's wrestling. And, suddenly referee interrupts.
Cuts the ref there.
He's here.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
I got to go. And then he runs. And then, that would have been perfect.
Yep. Speaking of people who don't know what they're doing with people, the 4-way for the U.S. Championship. Talk about basically wasted talent.
This was
here.
when I started cleaning up my dishes.
Not a bad choice because so Bobby Roode versus Rusev versus Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton. Really kind of a boring, not the worst match, just not much happening. Of course, the crowd was way into Rusev.
And of course, that means that Rusev wasn't going to win.
Correct. We need to do better with Bobby Roode because he is the man. He is one of the best things they have. He's a great worker. He's a great talent, and they're wasting. He wasn't even down. He didn't get a big WrestleMania entrance, which I wanted. No, he got the basic entrance. And before he's even down to the ring, Aiden English starts singing about Rusev Day. Like, they don't even get to the end of Bobby Roode's intro before they start on Rusev stuff. So I'm afraid they're going to squander Bobby Roode. Jinder Mahal wins, by the way. Jinder Mahal is your U.S. champion.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I just think it was Rusev's time.
That belt means nothing right now because it's being passed like a hot potato. It's not prestigious. It's just another prop, and hopefully,
I bet it comes over to Raw.
See, that's what I think with the Superstar shakeup. I think they're going to trade Seth for Jinder.
Yeah, unfortunately. Hey, I've got another update for you. So
go ahead.
We've got Billie Kay and Peyton Royce coming out to confront Charlotte. Kay hits shades of Kay on Charlotte. Kay and Royce toss Charlotte over the announce desk twice. Royce and Kay stomp Charlotte out on the floor. Kay and Royce whip Charlotte into the ring post. Charlotte tries to get to her feet, but Royce and Kay send Charlotte into the ring steps. Then the duo powerbombs Charlotte on the floor. With Royce and Kay bringing Charlotte back into the ring, they pose over her as referees come to check on Charlotte. And then Carmella runs to the ring, grabs one of the referees, and cashes in the Money in the Bank. The referee is super confused, and it takes 158 years, this is from the article, to officially start the match. But when it does, it ends up with Charlotte getting to her feet. Carmella kicks Charlotte in the face, pins Charlotte. 1, 2, 3. We have a new SmackDown Women's Champion. It is Carmella.
Well, there we go. We were just talking about that, and it happened. So they're listening to us live, like in real time. We're being listened to. So thanks, WWE. Now royalties now, please. Well, there you go. Charlotte had her moment at Mania, and Carmella has her moment now.
Yeah. Oh well.
Okay. Yep.
Anyway,
and then
U.S. title match. Yes, Jinder won. It should have been Rusev. Not taking anything away from Jinder, but yeah, I think Seth and Jinder swap shows next week.
Then next, my surprise of the evening, as Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle took on Stephanie McMahon and Triple H.
Boy, when that match started, I said to everybody, which was just me, Lauren, and Sean, I was just like, all right, guys, get ready to have fun. What do you mean?
And this was fun. This entire thing was fun. Great storytelling.
It was.
And I was not going to give this match much credit. I didn't care. I care now.
Yep. It was the surprise of the night.
It sure was. And again, a kind of crappy entrance from Triple H. Who cares? Look, I have motorcycles, and they go forward and backwards.
Second year in a row with motorcycles.
He's going to always have that. So just good, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the whole match is based around Stephanie not wanting to be around Ronda Rousey.
Of course.
And yeah, and Angle showed some shades of, younger Angle. Like that was cool to see. And Ronda looked damn good as far as like her.
Great.
Yeah, she got her shit in, man. She got some good submission holds in there, some good slams. She picked up Triple H in a fireman's carry.
Triple H in a fireman's carry. That was
I wish you would have slammed him. I wish you would have slammed him. That would have been your moment. Was actually slamming, not just picking up, but actually, falling back Samoan drop style or whatever.
Here's what I really noticed about Rousey. It wasn't just she needs some work on her in-ring stuff, which is understandable.
And her on-mic stuff.
Her in-ring stuff was really good, but what I really noticed was how she was selling.
Mm-hmm.
Like before she put that arm bar in, it wasn't just like crazy sloppy, okay, here's the arm bar and now I've got it locked in. She stopped. She paused. She worked the crowd. She got the crowd to want that arm bar. Then she put it on. That takes a lot of poise for somebody that new.
And a good dance partner in Stephanie McMahon, because Stephanie sold the shit out of that. Yep. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What sold it for me was how Stephanie was screaming. Like she was saying, don't. When she put the armbar at the end, I thought Stephanie was like fucking dying.
Yes.
With how she was yelling and that, like, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That sold it for me.
Yeah. I just cannot praise Rousey enough. I was a little. Everybody's a little worried when you've got somebody coming in from a completely different world, especially on the stage that is WrestleMania.
Yep.
How that person is going to do. Are they going to be able to hold up? Are they just going to be a laughing stock? Nobody's laughing now. Rousey was fantastic. Good for her. Happy. Just very happy.
This was a legitimate great surprise. I loved this match. Now we need to see going forward when Ronda faces other women wrestlers.
Yeah.
Actual women wrestlers. Sorry, Stephanie. I know, but you're not.
Exactly.
And now when she, with her lack of experience, taking on the more experienced, like I want to see that chemistry as well. So,
yep.
but this match in its core, loved it. Absolutely loved it.
You can tell she really cares. She really is genuinely happy to be there, and that's a beautiful thing to me. So.
Yep. Following that, we get the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match as the New Day face the Usos and the Bludgeon Brothers. The New Day come out with little people in pancake outfits. It was fantastic because they were just chucking pancakes in the audience. They were doing the worm. It was hilarious. I loved every second of it.
It was excellent. Excellent entrance. I don't remember watching this match. I think I was putting some last dishes away.
This wasn't show stopping because they got to follow Ronda Rousey, but the Bludgeon Brothers came in and just wrecked shit and are now your tag team champions.
Yeah.
They did a double team power bomb into one of the Usos, I think it was, off top rope. Got the 3 count and the Bludgeon Brothers. I like the fact that they're actually putting a belt on Harper and Rowan because those guys are, Harper especially. They deserve some recognition for what they're doing, so I'm glad that they're doing that. I think because of this and what's happening with the Usos being number 1 contenders, I think New Day is going back to Raw.
Oh, well, I'm fine with that.
I think they'll swap New Day for Revival.
I'm fine with that. If that gets the Revival back on track, and if that gets the New Day back on track, I'm good with all of that.
Yep. Then was the Taker Cena match. I put that in quotations because this is my disappointment of the entire show.
What?
Because
really?
it wasn't a match. I mean, seeing Taker, not disappointed. The way they did it was great. They got Cena out of the ring. The whole Elias thing was fun.
Yeah.
Giving Elias his moment, that was fun. I was down with this. I'm cool with this so far. They get out of the ring. They show the hat and the cape and the coat back in the ring. Lightning strikes it. It's gone. Okay, great. It's not badass Taker. It's not biker Taker. Yay.
I was worried about that.
But it was a squash match, and for all the build up and all the much that I actually wanted to see that of a match, to have it built to a squash match, that kind of bummed me out a little bit. Like I want to see Taker versus Cena, not just Taker showing up, punching his ticket, and then getting out of there.
Well, here's the thing. Now, a lot of people, you included, were very much reserved about this match prior to the build-up to it kicking into high gear.
Right.
Saying that Undertaker should have retired with Roman. He's not in condition. I don't think you said that specifically, but that, Undertaker is not in condition to wrestle a high-quality match. Let the guy retire with dignity. With that being said, I think you were right on that. He's not in any condition for a long match anymore. So I think the squash match was perfect. I was fine with the match. Cena doesn't need a long outing. The Undertaker isn't really in the condition for a long outing. Just give everybody that one last shot of Taker, that one last moment of mystique, of excellence, of that awesome Taker moment, and have them go out with remembering Taker how we want to remember, as this destructive, mysterious, mystical wizard force,
Well, I was fine with the rapping. I guess I was fine with the rapping of the present. It was just the present that was like, oh, I kind of let down because I wanted to see an actual match, not a 15-20 minute barn burner. I just wanted to see an actual match between Cena and Taker. And Cena should not be acting surprised. Cena and Taker have been around for a long. They've wrestled before.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like seeing Taker, great. I'm all for that. Having him get his tombstone, 1, 2, 3, fine. I just wanted more of a match with all that build-up. I guess that's just my takeaway from that.
I think I was okay with it because there's so much other stuff on the card. Like for people who want to see a match, there's a lot more actual matches on the card. I didn't need a match out of these two. I was entertained by it, and
I did love Cena's when Cena sold the Taker sit up.
Yes, that was the best part of the match.
Stopping and falling down, that was hilarious. I loved that.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was fantastic.
God, John Cena is so good. Like people shit on him all the time. John Cena is so good.
I agree. And I think it was a fantastic match. And, it
was a very cool moment. It was a very cool moment. All right, then we get to the much anticipated return of the yes man himself, Daniel Bryan, tagging with Shane versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Boy, Daniel Bryan got laid out pretty early on, so Shane had to go through most of the match.
Yep.
By himself. But I love Kevin Owens. Good return, Daniel. Good job. That was funny. But yeah, when it came down to it, Daniel Bryan comes back in, and he looks like he's not missed a beat. Like he was doing all of his yes kicks, his drop kicks in the corner. He was running his ass off, like he was hitting the ropes hard, like he was comfortable back in his element.
As far as Daniel Bryan being in the ring, it was fantastic. You could tell he definitely needs to hit the gym again because he's lost a little bit of muscle mass in his 3 years off. That's to be expected.
Right.
To me, though, this was one of the disappointments of the night. And I'll say that because I hated having Daniel Bryan out on the side of the ring taking a powder while the EMTs worked on him for most of the match. That killed the momentum of the match. That killed... Do you notice how the crowd was kind of dead after that?
Yeah,
they were
I do.
so hype, and then that happens, Bryan's out, and they're just dead while Shane gets beat up. And the whole show kind of started going downhill from there, if you really think about it. That was really the turning point of it. You didn't need to do that. Still have them attack him, and he can be out for a little bit, but just don't have him be worked on for, the majority of the match. You want him on that ring apron. You can still have exactly the rest of the action that you had in that match. You can still repeat that, but you need Daniel Bryan on that ring apron because you want the crowd to be not just wanting to see Shane tag in Daniel Bryan and see Bryan step between those ropes. You want the crowd to be in agony for it. You want them to want it so badly that they're pulling out their hair in the crowd because they just want to see that tag. And they were doing that earlier with Ronda Rousey in the Ronda Rousey match. And the crowd was hot for that.
Yep.
And you still could have repeated.
And it happened later on in the Raw tag team match.
Yeah. You could have... Well, here it always happens in every tag team match, and I think they might have been trying to put some variety in it. It just wasn't the right place for them to try and put that variety.
I mean, I see what they were going for.
Right.
I see what they were going for. Like, hey, all this hype, whatever. Getting heat on Owens and Zayn. Just saying, okay, you wanted this, well, too bad.
You didn't need it.
I know, but I see what they were trying to do. That was not the way of doing it, in my opinion. That's not the way of doing it.
It was a bad call. Because you notice at one point, Daniel Bryan, when he finally did get back on the ring apron, he started doing this to get the crowd going. You should not have to be doing that to get the crowd going for a Daniel Bryan's return match.
Yeah, they're all ready. They're right there.
Yeah, that shows you that it was a failure of booking. Once he did get back in, the crowd did get back into it.
Yep.
But that initial part with him getting worked on by EMTs for so long was so unnecessary because you didn't have the camera cutting back over to it to check on him at all like you do with others. You didn't have that. It was just to get him out there and have Shane take a bunch of other stuff. So
and I'll be honest, I've always liked Shane McMahon.
Oh yeah,
I've always liked his. I liked his. He got his coast to coast in. He got his. Bounced off the ropes, hit, I think it was Sammy in the opposite corner. He got that in. He's still, it's amazing that he can still do that, even with his hernia. That's amazing that he can do that. But,
again, I wouldn't have changed anything about the in-ring action, anything that transpired in the ring. Just I would have kept Daniel Bryan on the apron and just put in those spots where Shane's trying to tag him in. Yep. That's all I would have changed.
Yeah, we all were concerned about a heel turn here. Nothing happened. Nothing funny happened here. A clean pin. Owens and Zayn are now on Raw fighting for a job. So I think that's the way you do Superstar Shakeup, and Owens and Zayn will head over to Raw And Daniel Bryan's now in-ring competitor on SmackDown, and all is right with the world.
And Paige is the GM.
I don't care. Can I mention how much I don't like her anymore? Like, every time she'd pop up about her movie, I love how fake that thing. I was like, Paige, yeah. I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be bad.
There's something very grating about her.
I don't like all the makeup she's put on. Like,
oh yeah.
She went overload. I don't know if that's her or creative or somebody. It's too much. I think the movie looks good. The movie looks funny.
I don't think so. I thought the preview looked horrible.
Well, it's the same preview we've seen like 10 times now. I'm fatigued by it. I'm interested to see where it goes.
That's the first time I saw the preview was on Wrestlemania. Yeah. I thought it looked really bad. I thought it was surprisingly bad for a project that The Rock is attached to.
It looked like it was a cool promo that they did, I guess. I'm interested to see more of that movie to see where it goes, but I'm not going to see it in theaters. I just want to see more of it.
I've written it off.
Yeah. Anywho,
it might as well be a Scooby-Doo meets WWE characters movie at this point. Like, that's what it looked
Paige,
like.
Yeah, I would just my new movie. Something. Oh my god, just stop talking. Yeah. God. Now I'm going to not watch SmackDown Live if she's there. Okay. The Raw Women's Championship.
She's with Alberto Del Rio, and he's such a trash human being.
Who just got released from Impact Wrestling because he no-showed. So yeah, if he no-showed, screw that guy. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. This match was fun. Because again, I like Nia Jax. I like what they're doing with her. Nice fun part where Nia just screams Alexa and she screams back. That was fun.
That was the most entertaining part of the match.
She screamed in horror. Again, Nia just shows how powerful she is, just picking up Alexa Bliss, like no problem, wiping out Mickie James on the outside. It was a fun match. Nia Jax wins. She's the new Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah,
I thought it was kind of a cool story. I like Nia Jax. Okay, I do. I like Alexa Bliss too. So it's a good match.
Yeah, I wasn't like enamored by it, but I wasn't put off by it. So
it was definitely not a horrible match. Then the dream match, WWE Championship, Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles.
I think we can all agree that this was pretty disappointing. Worst
for what it could have been, yeah.
Realized.
And I think I put that on Shinsuke.
What is he missing? I don't get it.
He's missing the it, and I think it's because he's been main rostered. I think he's down to his 5 moves, and he's turning into a new John. He does the head thing on the ropes. He does the come on. He does the thing in the corner. He does the good vibrations, and he only has like 5 moves, and that's disappointing. But
didn't he have more back when he was in New Japan?
Yes, but I think now, with what happened at the end of the match, I think now he might open up. So Shinsuke turned heel.
Yes,
and
that was the best part.
if you were going to tell me that the person to turn heel at Mania was Shinsuke Nakamura, I would have called you crazy. So he hands the belt back to AJ. The ending of that match was great. I think he did a Kinshasa, which AJ reversed into a Styles Clash. That was dope.
Yeah.
But so Nakamura low blows Styles to set up a prior match at Backlash, I assume. And now Shinsuke's turned heel, so maybe now we can get some of that charisma and maybe some of those strong style moves out of Shinsuke. Now he's a proper heel.
Yeah, he needs to stop listening to whatever WWE's telling him and just go back to what brought him to the dance, because he needs something. You're absolutely right. And this match was, it could have been so much more, and for a dream match, it was not very good.
It wasn't a bad match, because that bad match would come later.
Right, it wasn't a bad match, but it was not anything that was more special than a SmackDown match.
Sure, yeah. This match, this is SmackDown quality.
Yeah, this could have been This could have been tonight's main event, basically.
Right. Then we get to probably the most fun moment of the entire evening, as the Raw Tag Team Championships are on the line, as the Bar took on Braun Strowman and the quote-unquote random kid from the audience. It's referee John Cone's son
yeah.
Nicholas. This was so much fun. So The Bar comes out on the parade float with the mascot with the big heads and having a good time and do their thing. Braun comes out, the float's still there. He screams, they all run away. This is Vince's fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
The heads all run away. He pushes the float off the stage. It crashes. It was so good. And then he gets on the mic and just, who's going to get these hands? And I'm going to be one of you or one of you. And just like, okay, he's killing time here.
Yep.
He gets Nicholas out of the crowd. He just, you stand there, I'll do the rest.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a squash match. It actually was a competitive match. And he tags in Nicholas. The crowd goes wild, and Nicholas just stands there, obviously, with Cesaro staring him down. And he tags Braun back in to finish the match. But it was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
I think Justin was kind of poo-pooing it, but I really enjoyed this. He
was a little bit, at least in our private chat. I think he was upset about it. I don't see why. I guess the only reason that I would see to be really upset about this match is if you're really a fan of the Bar, because it made them look bad. But it did make Braun Strowman.
They've made a career out of looking bad. I mean, Cesaro was in Shikara for a while, so he knows how goofiness is, and Sheamus is still Sheamus. Like, he loves dumb shit. So I think they were they're going to be fine.
Yeah, they will be.
Just because it's Braun Strowman.
Right. It made Braun Strowman look like a badass because it's like, hey, I can win the tag team championship with the help of a kid. So
and the crowd already loves Braun Strowman, as they should. He's the best thing in wrestling. And now he's endeared himself more to the crowd. You talk about he's a once in a lifetime talent because he is this giant monster figure that can also be relatable and be cool and be funny with the audience. So he is everything I want in a pro wrestler.
That's the range, man. He is showing a lot of range. I've been very skeptical of Braun, but now I'm on board.
Are you on the wagon?
I am on the Braun train now, brother. I am all on.
He's just the best thing going in professional wrestling.
He's great.
I believe they had to relinquish the titles last night on Raw.
They did relinquish the titles last night on Raw because Nicholas has school.
Right. I think Braun said he has a scheduling conflict. He's in the 4th grade. Something like that.
That's just great. It's so good, and I'm so glad that the crowd was into that because you had to worry that, hey, this is going to be a gamble with the hardcore WrestleMania crowd. Are they gonna buy this? No,
right,
they were fine.
Or people who value belts more than they should.
Right,
or titles.
Right.
And you look at the Raw tag team division.
Where's Jim Cornette shit all over this?
Oh boy, yeah. You're
telling me that you got the tag team titles won by a 10-year-old? I mean, come on.
The fuck is this shit, motherfucker?
Back in Smoky Mountain, we would have shot a guy for that.
That's actually a good cornet. I like it.
That's not too bad.
I'll take it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Before last night when Authors of Pain showed up, Raw tag team division has been a joke. Outside of the Bar, you have what? You had the Club, which gets jobbed out every second they get.
Yep.
You have the Revival getting jobbed out already. Who else do you have? Slater and Rhino? No. And now at least you have AOP coming in, and presumably New Day when they get in there. So at least you can strengthen it. But right now, the Raw tag team division was a joke. So treat it like one. I had a good time with it.
Yeah, so did I. It did everything that it needed to do. And then the joke ended the next night, so now we can have a tag team title tournament.
Yep.
So I think all's well that ends well.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then we get to finally, after 17 years of wrestling, we get to the main event.
It seemed like it happened so fast, too. I wasn't ready.
Yeah, Roman Reigns.
7 hours in.
Yeah, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. I can sum up this match in 2 words: god-awful. This was boring. And I think it may have had to do with me being wrestling fatigued after 7 hours of WrestleMania.
Why?
But also, it was just not a good match. All it was like 4 or 5 F5s, elbow him in the face, a la Randy Orton style, make him bleed profusely. Roman Reigns screams, and then F5 done.
I think I was okay with it. I think it would have been a lot worse with it had the outcome been different, had Reigns ended up winning with, a series of Superman punches and a spear, like always. But yeah, it was not a classic match, and I don't see why everyone in the WWE seems so hell-bent on getting Roman on as the last match every year, because
this is 4 in a row now. This is 4 in a row now.
He just can't go. He can't do it. All right, the crowd doesn't want him. I don't know why. I don't understand why he's selling so much merchandise. I really don't.
It sounded like he was getting booed less. Like, it sounded like with this angle, he's a little bit of sweetening, you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, it could have been that he was getting booed less, but I think there is some sweetening going on. But
well, he's appealing to kids. Like, he's becoming their new John Cena, it seems like. Because when that "Let's Go Roman sucks" chant, it's the kids saying "Let's go Roman." I'm hearing that. So that's why he's selling merch, because mommy buy me that Roman Reigns shirt. Okay.
Yeah, that's too bad. That just shows you that you should deny your kids more stuff.
I don't know. Like, I kind of want Roman to win just to get this behind us. Like, this is a match that's been building for 4 years now. Like, end the story. Like, let Roman win and then move on with life.
I agree. On the one hand, I'm always happy to not see Roman win because I think he is an incredibly boring wrestler. He's got some talent on the mic. He could be such a great personality.
He's getting way better at promos.
Right. But right now, all Roman has to offer is a right hand,
the spear,
a Samoan drop, and the Superman punch,
and the ooh-ah.
So
every once in a while, you spear someone through the barricade.
4 moves that actually make contact with somebody. That's all he's got right now. Now, I know there's been a long line of professional wrestlers that have earned millions of dollars doing just 4 or 5 moves. Hulk Hogan had a mystique about him.
Sure. And I think they want to put that mystique on Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns doesn't have that mystique. He just doesn't. No matter what they've done.
Hogan's is natural. Reigns is manufactured.
Exactly. And that's why the crowd is not buying it. If the WWE would just wise up to it instead of, well, he's getting a reaction. That's all. That's, what we want is at least a reaction. If they would just wise up and understand that he could be big if they just weren't trying to shove him down our throats.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about put him on SmackDown, turn him heel, have him drop Daniel Bryan on his head and say, you know what? You're the reason that everybody hates me because you wouldn't go away years ago when you should have gone away, when you knew damn well you were injured and you cost me my spot. Everybody was cheering for you and they should have been cheering for me. You screwed me over. Fudge you. I'm going to kick your ass and retire you. Do that. And have Daniel Bryan go up against Roman Reigns. Fudge, man. You're making some money right there. You're making some money.
And so WrestleMania closes out with Brock retaining and with Roman's music playing, because of course it has to.
Yeah.
And he's him walking up the ramp slowly, and that's how we fade out.
Well, I was hoping it was retiring.
Understand. Yeah. I don't understand how you end with that. I thought you end on a positive note and not just watching Roman walk away. And that's WrestleMania 34.
That is WrestleMania 34. One more thing I'll say about Reigns. If they add like 3 or 4 extra moves to his arsenal, just give him like a freaking side Russian leg sweep. When somebody's down on the mat, just have him pick up the leg and just slam it down. And remember how Bret Hart used to do that awesome, he would pull somebody over to the turnbuckle and then do the figure 4 on the outside?
Yeah.
Teach Roman Reigns how to do that. And then teach him how to do like a bulldog or a DDT or something. But have him work the legs a little bit. And then you can have the commentators talk about how he is working on the legs of all these wrestlers. And then you can kind of repackage him to, he's being a little bit more scientific about his wrestling. Because now that his opponent is losing that mobility with the legs, he's not going to be able to get out of the way of the spear. Then
or
then you just shift that mentality in the eye of the viewer to Roman Reigns is a little bit more of a complete package, because he does have a little bit more of that science behind what he's doing, instead of just like, I'm all Superman punches and long hair.
I would say take off the goddamn Kevlar vest. Because,
yes.
how are you supposed to hurt? Have you punched a Kevlar vest before? It doesn't do much damage to somebody's chest.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take that off, make him more vulnerable as opposed to, he's invincible. Like, why should I care about someone who can't get hurt?
Yeah.
He's Superman. Like, and I don't care about Superman. Like, it's the icon that I care about, not the actual character. I think Superman, the character's lame. And I think Roman Reigns is lame. But I think, like, the wrestler, not the person. I'm sure the person's fine minus the whole, steroid thing, but the character I don't care about. So
yeah, as long as kids still cheer him and he still t-shirts, then this is what we're gonna get.
And he gets his rematch at the greatest Royal Rumble taking place is it in India? I forget where it's taking place, but there's that the greatest Royal Rumble with 50 competitors taking place overseas, and Roman Reigns gets his rematch for the Universal Championship over there.
Yep. So that's where Roman Reigns is going to win. He's going to win in Saudi Arabia.
He can't win on American soil. Let's do it in Saudi Arabia.
That's all right. And then he'll probably feud with Samoa Joe,
who made his return last night on the Raw after Mania. Also, we saw the re-debuting Bobby Lashley, which got a big response from the crowd.
That's the right place to debut him, because if they debut him in Nebraska, they're going to say, "Whoo, whoo."
And they're going to put Lashley versus Elias. I love that immensely. And they did it right, because they did not give Bobby a microphone. They just said, go out there, look powerful, look tough, and smile. And he did all those things.
And an impressive vertical suplex.
Oh my God, that was sick.
Like a
one-handed.
Minute. Yeah.
One-handed. He got the crowd into it, and he's learned so much during his time at Impact. So I'm looking forward to more 2018 Bobby Lashley. Let's see, we got call-ups from Authors of Pain, Ember Moon, No Way Jose, which I forgot about him. I thought I thought he was injured, but nope, he got called up to Raw.
I'm sorry, but No Way Jose. Who was Adam? What's his face that had the bunny?
Adam Rose?
Yes, same gimmick as Adam Rose.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Oh my God, it is.
Because I actually like No Way Jose. I don't like Adam Rose.
Well,
because he was that what's that British actor that basically is Adam Rose?
He was, yeah, I know you're Russell Brand.
Thank you. Yeah, he's like him. But No Way Jose's actually a fun guy to be around, instead of, I'm a prim and proper British man who likes to party with people in bunny suits. No, stop it. You can't relate to that. You can relate to somebody who wants to have a good time at a party.
I don't know, man.
He's Ross Ty Dillinger. He's not going to do anything with him. He's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
He's just there for a good time. He's there for happy fun time.
Yeah. He's a great one to be on Saturday Morning Superstars.
Sure, I can see it in this future.
By the way,
go ahead.
Happening on SmackDown, WWE Champion AJ Styles is going to go one-on-one with Daniel Bryan.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a main event.
Why are they pulling that out tonight? Come on.
Holy shit. So, I mean, Shinsuke will get involved, right? Shinsuke, being a freshly turned heel, will get involved and throw the match out, right?
One would think.
What are you doing?
I'm just looking at my microphone. What are you doing?
It's still there.
All right.
All right.
That was my belly button.
Yeah. So SmackDown remains happening right now. So we may see some new... Anybody getting called up that we know of besides the Iconic Duo?
That is all I've seen so far.
All right. So the next week is the Superstar Shakeup. I think we predicted that the IC and US belts will swap. So Jinder will come to Raw. Seth will go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
I think I had said that the New Day will go to Raw when they also put who's Revival on SmackDown. I think.
Yep.
I could see, who else can we see? Because there's gonna be more than that. You think Baron Corbin comes to Raw?
I don't know. Maybe Ty Dillinger comes to Raw.
And gets wasted again. But yeah, they're going to put Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on Raw because they're both there. They had a match for a Raw contract, which is no contest, obviously.
Does Daniel Bryan come to Raw?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because he kept telling the land of opportunity over in SmackDown, so I don't know. Samoa Joe came back at Raw last night.
Yes.
So he get him back in the ring.
Yes.
Jeff Hardy came back last night as well.
Yes.
So hey, these I mean you had said that the Raw Mania was kind of meh, but there's some good. I mean, 3 hours after 17 hours, it's like, okay, enough wrestling.
Yeah, it wasn't as electric as last year, but it was all right.
And it sounds like from the guy I know who was there, he said that the crowd was more behaved this year than last year. There was no Beach Ball Mania.
There was no FU Roman.
Yeah, there were not sabotaging the crowd this year like last year. So he said it was a good experience at Raw Mania. He just tweeted a picture of him and Finn Balor at Raw last night. So
nice.
You bastard. He like, I'll give a plug. Pro Wrestling Iowa, Pro Wrestling Mothership. I've been on their show a couple times. Good college buddy of mine. He's been down in New Orleans, going to he went to WrestleCon. He went to Joey Janela Spring Break. He went to Supercard of Honor. He went to NXT. He went to Mania, obviously. He went to Raw. Like, he's doing everything. So, good dude. Follow him at Smohawk on Twitter. He's a good dude. Good friend of mine. Good brother. He's a good brother.
Nice. So they are fighting right now, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. So that's happening.
All right. Well, shall we? Can we get the go home signal here? Let's just something else to say about wrestling over the past weekend. Again, overall, it was fun. This whole thing was fun.
We did it.
Takeover was amazing, and people, if you've not watched it yet, including you, Dave, watch Takeover. It is one of the best shows they've ever done, if not the best show they've ever done. It was amazing.
I will at least watch that Aleister Black match and see what happened there.
Watch that ladder match and watch Ricochet.
Yeah, and the Ciampa Gargano match.
So watch almost all of Takeover.
When I get the time, young man. When I get the time.
And Mania was good. I mean, even the bad Manias have some spectacle to them and are fun to watch. But this was not a bad Mania. There was a lot of ups and downs, like every show. It was 7 hours, which is a lot to ask for wrestling fans. But overall, I enjoyed the entire weekend.
It was fun. It was a fun Mania, but could have been a little bit better.
Yep. So let's take it home. Let's get the go home signal. Video game wise, don't forget to follow me at twitch.tv. That's Jeff Roth. We'll dive into that new Boss Key Battle Royale game. I forgot what it's called now. Radical Heights. We'll dive into that here in a little bit. And next week is Yakuza and God of War.
Hard to believe.
It's coming up. Dave, what do you got going on?
Right now, just working on a few things behind the scenes. Nothing really too visible that I can talk about yet, but it's if they do pan out, it's going to be some exciting stuff. So definitely stay tuned.
Yes, and stay locked on nerdbacon.com because things are happening. Things are in the works, and things will be popping off here momentarily. Of course, this very Twitch page you're on right now, go and follow this and subscribe to all this weirdness, because not only do we stream on here, but our third Justice streams on here. We have special guest streamers on here as well. Something's happening here all the time.
I think you should play through a Final Fantasy 15.
I do have the PC version now, so I could give that a whirl from the beginning and do it as Gordon Freeman in that Half-Life get up.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
All right,
cool.
Let's do it. Let's bring it home. Where can they follow you?
You find me on Twitter at Jefferoth, JEPHEROTH. Also on twitch.tv/Jefferoth, as well as youtube.com/JeffOfAllGames. Also here at nerdbacon.com.
Excellent. And you can follow nerdbacon.com on Twitter at nerdbacon. And you can follow me. I'm at Dave the Watchman. And yeah, that's about it. Stay tuned to nerdbacon.com for more breaking video game news, more in-depth video game reviews. Check out Jeff Roth checking out
Radical Heights.
Radical Heights. I knew it was Radical something.
Yeah. So
check back with us next week for the Level Up Lariat podcast.
From 2 of the 3 of the best faction in wrestling and video games, we miss you, Justin. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Have a good night, everybody. Game tasty.
Sweet.
We'll see you later.
Bye.